And we're back with the Vacuous perspective. No emails. I'm Val, and joined always by my good friend, co-host Nate. Nate, what is going on?
Good question. It's a good question. I don't know. There's been a few things in the news.
Has there?
Yeah.
Oh, well, of course. Yeah, go on.
There's been a couple of things. This is getting a bit old now, but Jacinta Ardern.
Yep,
She ran out of gas. Yep.
All
right.
Doing the gig for a while. It's a tough gig.
She has done the gig for a while, but that still surprised me.
It is surprising.
She's had a gutful.
I had an absolute gutful.
We've had a gutful many times on the Vacuous perspective.
Have we?
Yeah. Every week we have a gutful.
Oh, man. Absolute gutful.
Yeah, but she did it for 6 years without having a gutful. Now she's had a gutful. But she was so popular not so long ago.
Yeah, she's popular.
I don't know if she is.
Okay. The way I look at it is like a lot of political parties get to a point where they're like, look, we're going to an election in 9 months or whatever, and we need a fresh platform, whatever the fuck that means. And that's what they do it.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, she was the youngest head of government in the world when she was elected PM.
In the world.
I mean, you don't get fresher than that.
It's pretty fresh.
She's 37, so she's 1 year older than we are.
Did she breastfeed in Parliament? Is that also a first?
Probably. Well,
did I make that up?
Oh, I don't know if she breastfed in Parliament.
Come on, man. Okay.
But she would have I don't know. She did have a young child. She's married to this fisherman bloke. I've watched some of his TV series.
Jacinda Ardern make history with baby Neve at UN General Assembly, 2018.
And what did she do exactly?
Breastfeeding. Let's get it.
In the UN General Assembly.
Going deeper. With her baby in tow, right? She's got her baby with her.
Oh, so she's just got a baby.
She's got a baby with her.
Yeah, she's got a baby. All right, that's a bit different. Good on her. Was New Zealand? Yeah. Someone told me New Zealand.
I'm not speaking out of school. I don't think she did breastfeed her. But
let's just say it.
No, there was a politician who did. I don't know who it was.
But if she is the youngest head of government in the world, there's not so many women that are elected. So she was 37 when she was in. So you're looking at a 40-plus-year-old breastfeeding. Not too many people have kids after 40.
Right, but that was in 2018.
Yeah, maybe it's getting more popular. Breastfeeding's pretty damn popular throughout history. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, massively.
Been very popular.
Big trend. Is that the news?
There's been a bunch of shootings, which I can't really figure out what's going on in the US. Like just too
Crazy.
many every time.
Right, within 3 days of each other. It's wild.
So there's been 3, right?
No, 2, right? In the last 3 days.
I think it was a third. But I think only one person died, but 8 also were injured.
Right.
I just saw a headline and I was like, man, I can't keep up.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah. What else? I guess I found out that there's going to be a new Indiana Jones. I mean, I thought that was news. That was news to me. Still with Harrison Ford?
I think they're doing Harrison Ford again. Yeah.
Has he not had a gutful yet?
He's not had a gutful because he hasn't had a moneyful yet, obviously. Because he's made it quite clear that, he's one of the Hollywood types, much like Michael Caine, who really don't care about the movie's success or failure. They care about like money. Something like someone said, "Hey, I saw you."
Wait.
What?
How old's Harrison Ford?
Oh, let's say he was. Let's try and deduce it this way: 1977. how old do you think Harrison Ford was in Star Wars Episode 4, right? A New Hope.
Yeah, okay.
How old do you think he was there? 25, 26?
I was going to say 30.
Okay, let's say 30. Fuck it. Let's go for it. So then all we have to do is figure out how many
Okay,
years.
so 1980 to now is 43 years. So if he was 30 then he's 73, 76.
I think that maths
76.
sort of adds up, yeah. I think we can go with that.
Mid-70s. So, and he cares about money.
Ooh, it's dire, isn't it?
What do you mean?
It's dire, isn't it? It's tough out there. And
So he's said that?
I've been sending him a few bucks lately just because I feel that, if it's just about a couple of bucks here and there, I can pitch in where appropriate. But if you still got to go out there and crack the whip and be Indiana Jones one last time, it's freaky as fuck. No, obviously.
Why don't they recast the character?
Because you can't. It's Harrison Ford.
What do you mean you can't?
You can't. It's Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but you can.
Don't touch that. Okay. There's many things that have been rebut that have been reshit. And look, it looked like they were doing that in Episode 4 with the crystal skulls of aliens or whatever that one was. It looked like they were doing that, a passing of the quip and the hat to young Shia LaBeouf. But then when they're getting married at the end, right? Yeah. So like there's this, what happens is a gust of wind comes in and Harrison Ford, Han Solo, Indiana Jones's hat falls off, right, in the church. And I remember I was with my girlfriend at the time and I said, if he picks up that hat, I'm going to just come back and torch this cinema, right? If Shia LaBeouf picks up the hat, I'm out.
Is that how you pronounce his name? Is it Shia LaBeouf?
It's Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
I was like, because I was not a fan of him at the time. I've since become a massive fan.
Oh, really? You're a massive fan?
Yeah,
really?
I like him now. I think he elevated to a point where he was taking the piss out of himself, having a good time with it, and I like that.
I haven't seen that.
Okay. Well, he famously watched all of his movies back to back in a cinema.
How many? He's got plenty of movies, does he?
Well, he was what you would almost call a child actor in that he was in a movie. I don't know how old he was at the time. Let's say he was 16 in a movie called Holes. I think it's a Disney movie. I don't know.
That was his first one. Yeah,
and he was quite a young kid.
You've got me.
And he's done all the Transformers movies, and he's done a whole bunch of other stuff. So he had to sit through it all, and it was sort of like, I don't know if there was a live stream or it would be, dude. It's like, we're talking at least 36 hours in a cinema eating popcorn. I mean, it sounds okay.
And he live streamed his reaction.
It was a bit of art. Yeah, it's a bit of art of him
that
doing
seems,
it.
A bit.
Yeah. I know.
I don't know if that's self-deprecating or not. That almost seems like it's a bit up himself.
Yeah, but he has to watch the shit movies, man. That's the point. He doesn't
he just likes watching them because he's in them.
Nah. I know what you're thinking. It is very much like that. But he is taking the piss because there's the other one. It's that musical number called Shia LaBeouf. You have to watch it. I'm going to make you watch it later. Yeah, you'll understand.
Yeah, okay.
But
the internet kind of went at him when he posted that. What was it? It was on a flag, was it? It was like they won't fucking tear us apart or whatever.
What happened was there were multiple art installations that Shia LaBeouf installed, right? The first one, and I'm going to get this as vacuously as possible. Yeah. The first one was just in a square, like in a town square area, and the camera was set up there, and it was just people coming up, taking turns in saying, "He will not divide us." Meaning
he will not divide
Donald
us.
Trump.
Yes.
So it was this anti-Trump installation. People rocked up, would say, "He will not divide us. He will not divide us," and they'd walk off or whatever. And it was kind of like an art thing, right?
How long do you reckon that went? How long do you reckon it was successfully running?
I think
with people turning up and saying that.
I've watched a couple of docos about it. Like Internet Historian, I think, did some stuff on it, and he's amazing. And he goes into basically, it didn't take long for the trolls of 4chan basically to like figure out where this was and start going down there and saying random shit.
Well, that would have been publicly advertised, right? Because he's trying to get
people would know where it was immediately.
Trump haters down there, yeah.
But he's not trying to get Trump. He's trying to get like regular people to play ball and say he will not divide us and. make it a powerful a unified statement. He doesn't want he doesn't want them down there. And then they're not even pro-Trump, these guys. They're just like classic internet trolls.
Yeah.
They want to be like, it's
No,
the
of
whole
course.
Hitler did nothing wrong stuff. It's all that jam. And they're
I'm
playing
surprised.
songs and whatnot.
I'm just surprised that he didn't have the foresight that that's going to get trolled
almost
immediately.
It happened.
Yeah.
And so I think that one got shut down. So he started up another one where I believe they just raised a flag that said, "He will not divide us." And it was just, you could see just sky in the background. You couldn't see any landscape or topography. And the concept is that the stream stays up. He will not divide us, right? This message is getting out, right? It's because the flag is still raised, right? So the trolls were like, okay, cool. So now we've got to find this thing, right? So you would have had thousands of internet guys watching the stream, and they watched it to see aircraft that flew over, right? That's how they were figuring it out. They worked out, they were watching flight maps of the United States alongside the Twitch stream and were able to figure out where it was, basically.
Broadly, yes.
And then they would have people who lived in that area or would have to drive maybe 70 miles or something like that, or I don't know, whatever, to go there. And essentially they broke in, got the flag, took it down and raised another flag in its place.
Did they not drive around honking their horns as well to try and
that was another strat.
To finally triangulate exactly where it was? I think they got the general part of the city, like which city and general part. And then they started beeping
the horns, and they would say when they heard them, and then they could figure it out from there. Wild
It's
shit.
really cool. And I think
they laid down the gauntlet, and the internet just went, all right, we'll take it.
And I think to get because it could have been anywhere in the world, potentially. They looked at the stars.
No, they were tracking Shia LaBeouf. They knew where he was. It's his jam.
But I think they were looking at the stars to get to actually figure out if it's in northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere.
Right.
Yeah, I think they knew it was going to. I don't know if you can.
It's quite
how
amazing.
much that helps you, but that's pretty cool. And so I thought the whole plan was he sort of the internet seemed to make. It seemed to make, wanted to make Shia, just kind of cry a little bit, it seemed.
Yeah, it was trying to trigger. The whole plan was to trigger him, right? So, and they probably did a fair few times. There's a couple of times on the live stream, the one in the town square, where people are yelling some stuff and Shia rocks up and he's wearing a beanie and he's got a full beard and he just starts yelling, "He will not divide us," like in their face till they get out of there. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty intense, man. Like, America is pretty crazy place.
Maybe we should do the same thing. We could have a lock-in in a cinema and watch all 36 of our episodes.
No. I thought you were going to say we pop a flag up somewhere. No, we can't do that. But I think we were talking about Shia LaBeouf because he was going to pick up the hat at the end of the Indiana Jones, and I wasn't happy with it at the time. And if I could go back in time with what I'd be. I'm not okay with him picking up the hat still because it's not your hat, dude.
Maybe they were testing the waters. They put it out there. They saw how the public reacted to it.
Absolutely, they were. They dangled that shit. Dangled.
Okay, well they've only got now. They've boxed themselves into a corner because they've only got one movie left. Like, really,
I don't even know if he's in the next one. I don't even know if he is. He?
I think he is.
Is he?
Yeah. Well,
is he?
Didn't you say that the character dies with Harrison Ford? And there's another Indiana Jones. What, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny?
Yeah, that's what that's what they're going with. I think we're time traveling this time, peeps.
Oh, everyone's getting around the time travel. Why are they so obsessed with time travel now?
Time travel movies have always been great. Back to the Future 1, Back to the Future 2, Back to the Future 3. And I'm going to shock you here. Back to the Future 4.
Why is that shocking? Is there not a 4? I don't know.
There's not a 4, but I saw a very convincing trailer yesterday.
Really?
That threw me through a spin. All right?
Yeah. Where'd you come across this?
Let me see if I can find it. We'll watch it together, and you just tell me what's going on here, because I can't figure out if it's fake or not. So we'll watch it together.
Does it look good? So it looks that good that you're confused? You think there's a chance that it's real?
It looked real. It's not real.
It's not real?
Wait. No. I need to find out. Something strange happened.
Did you dream this?
I didn't dream. I don't think I dreamt it. No.
Will Michael J. Fox be in it?
Okay, I don't know what that was, man.
Yeah, it says a fourth Back to the Future movie has not been officially announced.
Yeah.
But there's a trailer.
Yeah, but there's shitloads of those. But
maybe we can make a trailer.
What?
Hey, so
Back to the Future.
So Harrison Ford is a money grubber.
Well, no, but
he's a filthy money grubber.
You think he's got enough money? Just chill the fuck out. Is that what you think?
He reaches for money. He grabs it. He hogs it. He wants it.
Yeah. Look, here's what I know about Harrison Ford. Indiana Jones, Star Wars gets made. George Lucas also cast Harrison Ford in a part in his movie American Graffiti, right? So he knew him already.
Okay.
Gets him for Star Wars, right? Han Solo. Brilliant, right? They make the movie. It pops off.
Did they know it was going to pop off? Was it always going to pop off? No. So
I think
it was
I think it was always going to pop off. I think it was always going to.
The budget was low, right? The budget was very low.
Yeah.
Quite low.
Yeah, but all movies were pretty low back then.
Had George Lucas done anything? Had he done anything other than he'd done? What's it called? Graffiti something or other. I
think he might have had good mates too. American Graffiti.
Graffiti.
He did another movie called THX something or other, which is pretty spacey. Apparently it's really good, but I don't fucking know. And you know how THX, that sound where it goes wow when you're in a cinema.
Yeah.
That's pretty much taken from that.
Okay.
So George Lucas loves him, right? Thinks he's fucking great.
George Lucas. Okay.
Yeah. George Lucas. He loves him. So they're making Empire Strikes Back, the second one. And Harrison Ford's reading the script or whatever, or talking about it, or maybe not talking about it, but he's looking at the script.
Ideas.
He's looking at the script and he's like, oh, this is perfect because my arc's like done. I was the smuggler, reformed smuggler turned hero of the rebellion, paid off my debts to Jabba the Hutt kind of thing. Like, I should be all G kind of thing. But he's not. And they freeze him in carbonite at the end of the film.
And why did he get frozen? What did he do again?
He never ended up paying Jabba the Hutt back.
Oh, he didn't. Oh.
And Boba Fett caught him, went, Jabba wants you to be on his wall now or whatever. So he's going to chuck you up on his wall.
Turn him into a piece of art.
And he looks great on the wall, if I do say so.
Fantastic.
He looks like it's a very nice piece of art. But I think when he was going in for the she says I love you, he says I know, he's like, this is it. This is the end of Han Solo. He's dead. Like, his story's done. This is perfect. He thought, kill him in the second one. Han Solo. Get rid of him. That's what he was thinking.
Okay.
So Return of the Jedi opens with them saving him from the carbonite. And he's like, I'm still in this fucking film series, right? But the point is that when they came around to making Indiana Jones, George Lucas comes back, writes the story, Steven Spielberg directing, yeah? He's like, Harrison Ford, right? And George Lucas is like, nah. I don't think Harrison Ford, because it would just look like he's my boy, and he's not my boy. You know what I mean? He's open slather. You know, he's not one character type. You know what I mean? Whatever, right? So they were looking at other people like Tom Selleck, the Big Mo. You know Tom Selleck?
No.
Well, he's quite a bit. You'd know him. He's Magnum PI, I think. Tom Selleck
okay. Yeah, I'm having a
was
look at him.
considered
Yeah.
for Indiana Jones.
What a moustache.
They had a go
What
of
a
him.
glorious moustache.
Absolutely. They had a go, and they went with
What
Harrison
a rug
Ford.
he has as well. Sorry, he's got an absolute rug. I've got this photo of him with his
He's a bit
opening
of
up
a-
his shirt. He's bloody
yeah.
rugged out.
Yeah, he'd be the Bachelor of the Year or whatever they'd call it. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, a Tom Selleck signed autographed photo on Amazon. He's got no shirt on. His curly hair. It is hilarious.
How much? Get one for the studio.
$19.99 AUD. That can't be
that's
real.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
Oh, might get you one for your birthday. The photo comes without a frame, packed securely with cardboard protection and a do not bend envelope.
I don't want a signed picture of Tom Selleck.
Oh, you're getting one now?
No, but I want her.
Oh, I think he's in underwear, but you can only see the top strap of it.
I'm back interested again. Okay. He's
Man,
showing a bit of skin.
$20. It's an absolute bargain.
Oh, it's a bargain. So the Back to the Future 4
Sorry.
thing, I don't think is a real thing. No.
Well, okay. So look, maybe Harrison Ford will get that big payday, and then irony will have it that he will, not be able to spend it. Heaven forbid something happens to Harrison Ford. But
is he spending at such a rate that he needs income? He doesn't need to do these, right? So he must enjoy it. He must.
No, and then there's
he must, right? We can deduce that.
Yes, and I think he just for his ego, maybe he thinks he is Indiana. He's split personality.
They all retire.
No, he doesn't. He's not retiring. And then the other bloke who's not retiring.
Who's not retiring?
Or the franchise that's not retiring.
What's that one?
Is our mate, the most name drop celebrity on our show, Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. What do you mean?
Mission Impossible 7 and 8.
Yes.
Coming out.
Yes.
July this year and June next year, respectively.
So, okay, we're at that point in time where we get to make a prediction of the future, right? How many Mission Impossibles will there fucking be? Let's go.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Keep in mind,
yes,
that Tom just had his first $1 billion movie in Top Gun Maverick.
Oh my God.
He's never had one before. So his stocks are as high as they've ever been. And he's had some high stocks.
I know, but will that just make him unhireable eventually?
He doesn't need too many more billion-dollar movies.
Too many more billion.
Well, he's got 2 Mission Impossible coming up, and they've been his highest grossing movies before Top Gun.
Yeah, so they'll keep making them, correct?
Yeah.
They'll just keep going.
So how old's Tom Cruise?
That's what we're gonna work out. We're gonna work out how many are physically possible.
Because if he pulls a Harrison Ford on us, he could have another 5 or 6 Mission Impossibles.
More. He's 60.
Oh well, he could do one a year. Because they're
No, he can't do one a year. So that's the other sort of factor in this is how many do they make and how often? Okay, here's the answer. Mission Impossible Rogue Nation 2015. Mission Impossible Fallout 2018.
Have you even seen these movies?
I heard Fallout is amazing. Wait,
really?
Whichever one had Superman in it. Whichever one had Henry Cavill in it. Henry Cavill. Whichever one had him in it. It was apparently really great. I think it's Fallout.
I'm just going to see if Henry Cavill has a signed shirtless photo.
I'm sure he would. He'd love to get his shirt off. So there's a 3-year gap. There's a 4-year gap, then a 3-year gap, then a 5-year gap. So let's say they can make a movie every 3 years. We're being nice to him.
Before Henry Cavill became Superman, he rose to prominence when he starred as the regal Duke of Suffolk, Charles Brandon, in the Showtime historical drama ... Why can't I get the rest of that? He's a fucking beast in that.
Well, he's Superman.
He looks like Bane.
He's your pick, boy. Also, The Witcher. Have you watched The Witcher on Netflix?
I haven't. I think I watched the first or maybe 2 episodes.
Get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just too much. There's just too
come
much
on, man.
TV.
You can fit one more in.
I can't. Hey, I did watch something though.
Yeah. Give me 2 seconds though. I have done the calculations.
Yeah.
I think if he keeps going, Ethan Hunt, I'm not talking about Tom Cruise, Ethan Hunt, till he's 75, we've got 6 more Mission Impossibles after these ones.
Wow. Wow.
There you go.
Well, I still need to catch up with the previous Mission Impossibles. But I think they're not doing themselves. Look, the first one was called Mission Impossible, right? So I can believe him successfully completing one impossible mission.
Yes.
But when we're talking, what are we up to? I think 7 and 8.
Yeah,
I'm starting to find it a little bit unbelievable.
4, 5, 6. Okay, so 6 are currently released, 7 and 8 are coming, but they look like they're one movie in 2 parts, right?
Yes. So it's called Dead Reckoning Part 1 and 2.
So that's 8.
I might have to start watching them. I might watch them.
Are you from scratch? Get the full manga?
I don't know, maybe. No, I probably won't. I'll say I will.
Yeah, no, don't.
I'll think about it.
What's he working on? He's working
What's Tom Cruise up to these days? Is that what you...
No. So I'm looking at his most recent movies. Jack Reacher, pretty much a Mission Impossible clone. The Mummy, American Made. I think that's a really good movie.
The Mummy?
The Mummy. He was in the Mummy reboot. It was meant to boot the Monsterverse, which was meant to be like a Marvel Cinematic Universe, but for old school monsters like...
They rebooted The Mummy.
The Mummy.
Whose idea was that?
Oh, terrible idea. Bad idea.
How do people have jobs that made that decision?
What do you mean? I love The Mummy. You don't like The Mummy?
A reboot?
Yeah, don't.
They just reboot anything now.
Dude, he had the... Oh, man. I don't want to talk about it.
What?
No. I'm not going to say it.
Say it.
No. I have ill feelings about the Mummy movie, the reboot. So, but I really like the OG Mummy movies, probably 1 and 2. Really good.
Okay.
But he's done a couple of other movies, plus Mission Impossible, plus Top Gun Maverick, right? Boom. And a lot of his recent credits,
Boom.
Mission Impossible, all that, he's also a producer. And that's been the case since fucking forever. He was also a producer on the first Mission Impossible. Man, he's bought into this. He's in. He wants to keep it going.
So he's in deep.
He's in control.
So when you're the producer, do you have the rights? Do you own the rights because you're putting in the money?
I think it just
you own the product, right?
It's not quite as simple as that.
So you're just a money bag. You just sinking it in and you get a cut of the profits.
No, not like that at all. Sometimes actors are given producer credits because they're integral. Like they're so integral that they can put that in their contract to be like, hey, I'm a producer as well, right?
Producer credits. So what? Yeah, they just get their name at the end that says they're producer.
It's money related as well, surely. It's money related as well.
Okay.
Surely. But it doesn't mean he's reaching into his own pockets.
Yeah.
Okay. So Tom Cruise, Jesus Christ. We haven't said his name in a while. There it is. It's back. It's back in the sphere now.
So do you reckon I can watch Dead Reckoning 1 without watching Mission Impossible's 4, 5, 6?
I wouldn't. I just wouldn't.
As in you would watch the movies?
Yeah. I'd watch them.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'd watch them. Yeah. You've got time.
Do I?
Yeah. Dead Reckoning's 2023, which is this year. The second part's 2024. Do you want to watch one half or both of them together?
Well, Indiana Jones is June this year as well. So, I mean, am I missing an Indiana? Was there an Indiana Jones that I missed? There probably was.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull with Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, okay. I did. Maybe I did see that. I don't know. I think I remember seeing.
Yeah, probably did.
Yeah.
It wasn't that great. I believe the next one is the first Indiana Jones without Steven Spielberg at the helm, which is interesting.
Is that an issue? Maybe
potentially not. Like, I think George Lucas passing the torch to old mate who's sort of integral in building the Dave Filoni, like building the Clone Wars series and a whole bunch of the TV shows that have come out since, like The Mandalorian, essentially like giving Star Wars like a second birth in the modern world, because people really hated the movies, and so did I. But the TV series so far have been pretty damn good, and that's because he set him up. He said, "Hey man, I want you to help me write this show." And as he's doing that, he probably didn't even realize it at the time, but he's sort of being like groomed to become the next, sort of to carry on the universe, because George Lucas, once he sold to Disney, was not involved anymore. But Dave Filoni continued in a very, a good role, like a really good role for him, which is essentially like the driver of the stories, which is very cool.
I don't like that word. That word, groomed, has very negative connotations now.
Is there a better word for it if you're talking about
Look, there probably is.
But like in business, in a business way, you know what I'm saying? In business terms, it would be like, Anyway,
we'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, we'll get back to you.
But I did watch something.
Yeah, what did you watch?
Into my busy day, I squeezed Kai, the hatchet-wielding hitchhiker.
Yeah, right. You watched the doco.
Yes.
Did you remember the meme video when you saw it in the?
Yeah.
So you did see the interview of him talking about how he assaulted the guy.
Yes,
and that's all you knew.
Yeah, and he's just a familiar face. And I remember the smash, smash, smash. Like I remember that meme.
Yep.
Smash, smash, smash.
Yep. And that's how I went into the doco, more or less. I knew that some bad shit happened, and that he went to jail. I knew that before I watched it, but I didn't have any of the details. What did you think?
It was a bit bleak, wasn't it?
Very bleak.
It was interesting. I didn't know what to think about him, hey?
You know what it reminds me of?
I felt kind of sorry for him.
True. You're always in two minds about this stuff. First of all, you're like, oh my God, this guy's like needs help and stuff. But it reminds me a bit about how I lost had lost all that money in the roulette, right? Because he went from being like a nothing, right, to like superstardom overnight.
Yeah.
Being booked on all these talk shows. They're already formulating ideas to turn him into a reality TV star immediately. There's people on him. He's got one line of communication to the whole media world, which was through this reporter who just happened to be there or whatever.
Yeah.
It's quite crazy. And then, of course, the downfall. It didn't take long, man. Was it weeks or months or whatever? But
3 months before he killed this lawyer. So just for background.
Yeah.
So Kai rose to notoriety. When was it? 2013, I think they were saying.
Is that right? That long ago?
And that's when this video came out of him going viral, where he used a hatchet to intervene in a violent. What was happening? Some bloke was.
So he was in a car with a guy. He's a hitchhiker. The Kai's a hitchhiker. So he's hitchhiking with this guy, who this is according to Kai, who midway through started saying that he was Jesus. And veered off the road because he's like, hey, I'm Jesus, fucking watch this. He was like, I don't know if he was out of his mind or if Kai made all this shit up, but he veered off the road and like pinned this lady with his car against a wall or a fence or something.
Yeah.
And I don't know how.
And then he attacked someone outside of the car, another woman, and that's when Kai came along with his hatchet, which he just seemed to have lying around.
Yeah.
Bashed him in the head a couple of times
with the butt side, with the other side, not the cutty side. Hit him two with that like that, and he wouldn't stop or whatever. So he's turned it around and fucking given him one in the head.
But he didn't kill him. Yeah, he survived. Yeah, surviving the sharp side of a hatchet to the skull.
Well, the brain, it's got to be protected.
And then he became an instant celebrity when.
Because he sort of saved the day. People thought he was a great dude, right?
And there was this one video that the reporter on scene got of him explaining what had gone down, and he never gave another interview after that. And so I think that was one of the things that led to him going so viral. I think is that there was this mystery around him. It was really his conduct in the video, wasn't it? It's his whole personality.
Yes. He's saying he used a fake name. He said, "I'm a hitchhiker from this place." He lied about where he was from. the smash bit, which is what made him famous.
Became the Insta meme. Yeah.
And all these people wanted to see him. Like, he even said, he was like, oh, if anyone's got a surfboard, I'd love to check out Maverick sometimes, like, hit me up. And there were all these people wanting to give him a surfboard. He ends up going on, I think, the Jimmy Kimmel show where they present him with a surfboard and he's all stoked and shit.
He looks into the camera. So this is 30 seconds after he started talking to this reporter, and the guys asked him what's happened, what's just happened here. And he says something along the lines of, no matter what you've done, you deserve respect. Anyone can make mistakes. You're loved. Doesn't matter about your looks, age, size, anything. You're worthwhile. Yeah. No one can take that away from you. And he just looks straight into the camera, says this deep sentimental thing, and then goes on with his conversation. It's like the poise.
About hatcheting a dude.
Yeah.
But saving the day, like also being like lauded as a bit of a savior at the time. So, in the moment, maybe he
nailed the interview though, didn't he?
Nailed the interview. And then, it all went fucking pear-shaped from there.
Yeah, so he basically just loiters around, doesn't he? He has no home.
How about when he's texting somebody to be like, hey, man, can I come stay with you? And they're not getting back to him. Like, he's super famous and he can't get a place to stay for the night.
Yeah, but his face was all over the news as being wanted for a murder.
That was after. You need to zoom out of a touch. You just zoomed in on the.
Oh, did I?
Oh. Yeah, there you go. I think that's right.
Yeah, and so
anyway, so let's talk about after that. This is he was wanted for murder when he was asking for a place to stay. Is that true?
Yeah, well, there was. If you're thinking about the same part of the doco, I was.
That's not good.
He went over some bloke's house for some reason. Some 74-year-old lawyer.
Yep.
And
said, I'll give you a lift to the Trino in the morning, I guess.
And Kai says that he got raped that night by the guy. He woke up with a metallic taste in his mouth, cum on his cheek. But then there's footage of him giving the old man a hug at the train station.
Yep. Then he doesn't get on the train, does he?
Well, I think he gets on the train, but the place he's staying falls through. So he asks the guy if he can come back, and the guy's like, "Yeah, come on over."
So he goes back for the second night, which is very strange. If you had a bad experience, you wouldn't go.
And he also wouldn't be hugging the guy like he did. It was a very
you think he lied about that?
Something's going on there, and so then this old lawyer bloke was basically found stomped to death in his underpants in his own home. No sign of a struggle.
Yeah, and Kai's saying he was going to rape me, basically.
And he said he was getting retribution, really. He was saying, well, the guy rapes me. He was trying to link the two events.
He did have a post on Facebook or something where he said, if someone does something like this to you, you got to defend yourself kind of thing.
It's not self-defense to go back the next night and then kill him.
No.
That's not self-defense. That's like a premeditated.
Oh, absolutely.
What you do is you go to the authorities and you say, this guy's raped me, and you prove
that's exactly
that offense.
What they would be saying. Like, you don't go back there and go kill the guy, obviously.
But there was something not quite right about him. That's what's so interesting about the documentary itself, because you get an insight, you get a fair bit of footage about he had a very poor upbringing, it seemed, but he overstated how bad his upbringing was as well. He's clearly got some mental health issues.
Absolutely.
But a fascinating character.
It's a really interesting documentary. And I don't think it's a documentary where you're like picking sides with the main character. Like it's a weird story.
I really didn't like his neck tattoo though.
Yeah. Oh, dude, he went ham, didn't he?
Yeah.
People would have just been like, "Hey, man," like he'd just walk into a tattoo studio and they'd be like, "Hey, man, you're Kai," and he'd be like, "Yeah, man, do you want to tattoo my neck?" And he's like, "Yeah, I want to tattoo your neck. I'm not going to pay you." And he's like, "Of course you can't pay me. You don't have any money. All right, sit down," because they just want to have Kai in the shop. So let's just buzz him up.
Tell you what, they wanted to get him I think, what was it, the Kardashians wanted to give him his own show.
Yeah,
his own reality
immediately.
TV show, yeah.
Well, not the Kardashians, but like the people who make it. Yeah. So can we get an update on how he's going and where he is?
He's serving 57 years in prison.
Right,
and he's
for
appealing.
murder.
His last appeal just fell through. To be honest, he's got no chance because he admitted that he killed the guy. But he's trying to say that he did it in self-defense because of the actions that happened the night before. I mean, that's not going to get up.
Okay, so that's jail.
What I did like, and the saddest thing about him being in jail is he is a homeless man who describes himself as home free.
Yeah, they did say that in the doco, isn't it? They've got this free spirit locked up.
Yeah, his whole whole essence
vibe.
is about not. He's a floater and he loves it.
Absolutely,
he's floating through life. He's everywhere. He's anywhere. He's here. He's there, and now he's just there. He's not here and there anymore. He's just there in prison.
Yep. He's going to find a new freedom in there of spiritualism, maybe. Maybe he'll go on adventures in his mind.
He will have to because he's an adventurous character. Yeah. I did like when they had to sign him up. The first time they just get him to sign some papers so he could do.
What did he sign?
Like some shows. He signed. It was like the papers to allow them to use his, just appear on the show or whatever. And he signed in hieroglyphics or what looked like. It was like a picture.
Yes. So good.
Took him 10 minutes to sign the document.
So good.
Just drawing a little picture on there.
Oh, fuck, that's so good.
I did like that.
So impressed.
Yeah, I wish I had the balls to do that.
Just spend 10 minutes doing your signature every time. Yeah, that'd be great. It's ballsy.
There's something about him because he's doing something that everyone wants to do in some respect. Not kill someone.
What, murder a guy?
No, just be on a whim. Do what feels good. Don't worry about tomorrow. Live in the moment. He truly lives in the moment.
Yeah, but the moment sucks now because of the previous moments.
Yeah, I'm not saying. How did he think he was going to get away with it?
I don't know.
And he seemed to have this issue with an anger issue. He seemed to have some deep-seated rage.
Yeah. Well, I think if you're on the, I think he's overselling this free spirit idea in the sense that he would have had to have had some pretty rough experiences in his life to be still cruising around, looking for a lift to the next town, whatever's going on. Holy shit. That sounds stressful as fuck to me, but I could be totally wrong about that.
Hey, if you had a bandana on, I reckon your hair would look a little bit similar.
Yeah. I could go to a party, a dress-up party, maybe.
With a hatchet?
Yeah, and camp gear. Yeah. I don't think it's a very good idea. I don't think it conveys it unless the theme party is like, bad taste or something. I could probably do it.
Yes, I did some homework. I don't think you were assigned any homework.
No, but I've done some anyway.
Oh yeah.
I went on a bit of a I don't go on like Google deep dives anymore because I find it redundant.
Why?
Because ChatGPT just doesn't makes silly stories for me. I can just Google stuff in it.
Yeah.
And it reads back kind of nicely.
It digests the internet and gives it back to you in a format that is
and it lies.
Readable. It lies.
And it lies. Yeah, it straight up lied to me earlier today. I was on this tangent with it, right? First question I ask is, what happened to Nikola Tesla's research after he died? I already know the answer. I just want to know what it says. After Nikola Tesla's death in 1943, his research and possession was seized by the US government. His papers and laboratory equipment were classified as top secret and were not available to the public for many years. Some of his inventions and ideas were eventually incorporated into military technology. But much of his work remained unknown to the general public until the declassification in the 1970s. Some of his personal papers and and laboratory equipment were also donated to various museums and institutions where they can still be viewed today. I was interested. Now, if you keep typing in the same sort of ChatGPT field, it'll take into account what you've written previously, right? So I said, okay, well, which of his inventions were incorporated into the military? That's what I asked it.
Yeah.
Because that's an interesting thing. After someone dies, he gets all his stuff classified and they turn it into, they potentials to turn it into other stuff, right? Whatever they want.
Microwave guns.
Yeah, all that shit. So I was interested. I wanted to go further into it. So it said some of the inventions and ideas of Nikola Tesla that were later incorporated into military technology include the Tesla coil, which was used in early radio communication technology, which was important for military communication during World War II.
The Tesla coil for radio. Okay. Seems.
Yeah. His work on radar technology, which was also used during World War II for detecting enemy aircraft and ships. Now,
radar's a good one. Yeah.
Good. His research on high-frequency electrical currents, which was used to develop new forms of radio-controlled weapons. Now, I don't know what that means, if it's like a radio-controlled C4, like a blip, like a blip.
Or using radio waves or some kind of electromagnetic radiation.
Sure. Don't know. And the last point, it says his ideas on wireless energy transmission, which was studied for potential use in powering naval ships and remote military bases.
Whoa. Powering naval ships.
Fascinating.
Wirelessly, yeah.
Yes. Okay, so it is important to note that while Tesla's inventions and ideas were studied by the military, it is not clear how much of his work was actually implemented into military systems. Also, it is important to note that Tesla's inventions were not developed specifically for military use, but they were used in military technology. So, fascinating stuff. I was interested. I said, what was in the declassified documents in the 1970s? I wanted to sort of know a bit more about that first. I do go into some other areas later, right? The declassified documents from the 1970s that pertain to Nikola Tesla's research were primarily lab notes, personal papers, and photographs that were seized by the US government after his death in 1943. Okay, so there's drawings of inventions, there's experiments, stuff like that. A lot of photos.
A lot of good stuff in there.
Probably some really great stuff. We can probably look at a fair bit of it, which is great. Okay, so then I was like, okay, that's interesting. All right, that's cool. I was like, tell me more about the wireless energy transmission. And it was... it says wireless energy transmission was an area of research that he worked on extensively in his career. He believed that it was possible to transmit electrical energy wirelessly through the air using electromagnetic waves.
Had he shown that was possible? Do you know?
Yeah, yes. Okay. He believed this could be achieved using high-frequency electrical currents, which he called Tesla waves. He conducted several experiments to demonstrate the feasibility of a wireless energy transmission, including a famous experiment in 1899. Okay, so he was a young boy when he did this, where he successfully lit a series of incandescent lights without wires from a distance of 40 kilometers.
Whoa.
Using high-frequency electrical currents. He also developed a concept for a global wireless communication and power system, which he called the World Wireless System. This system would have used high-frequency electrical currents to transmit power and information wirelessly across long distances. What the fuck, right? Although wireless energy transmission was not a new idea at the time, Tesla's work on the subject was notable for the high frequencies he used and the scale of the transmission. He believed that wireless energy transmission would be a more efficient and cost-effective way to transmit electrical power, and it could be used to provide power to remote areas and eliminate the need for power lines. Boom, right?
Maybe it's too cost-efficient and you can't control it, right? If you're just broadcasting power.
Exactly.
What do you want? You want a meter on the end of that thing, right? You want the power going to a house. You want a meter.
This is the thing, man. No, not only that, okay? So Nikola Tesla's asking for funding from the richest people in the world, okay? JP Morgan's, all these kind of blokes, right? Now, JP Morgan owned every chain of the production line. Every part of the chain he was a part of, okay? So he loses big if you no longer need the coal, which no longer needs to be burnt, which no longer needs power lines, which no longer needs this and this and this and this and this and this. And it's all part of his income stream.
Yeah.
It's all part of his income stream. So he's like, I'm not a fan of this. So he funded his scientific rivals at the time. Fascinating stuff. It's really cool.
What happened to Tesla?
Died in 1943. He was an oldish man.
Nothing suspicious about his death.
Don't know, but the fact that they seized his papers immediately and classified them top secret for 35 years, like, is interesting.
Very interesting. There's a lot of rumor and conjecture surrounding Tesla. I've never really looked into it, but like, damn, it's sexy.
It is very sexy, and
because
wireless communication slash technology slash power is pretty damn fucking powerful shit.
He had cutting edge ideas, and they seem to have legs. The more I've been, a lot of his stuff, it was a long time ago. Okay, when you're electrifying light globes from 40 kilometers away with wireless electricity, that is mind blowing.
That is crazy town.
Because it's so targeted. I thought that you might be able to do it.
Think about the time this happened, 1899, when he did this famous experiment.
I didn't even know they had light bulbs then.
So here's the thing. 40 kilometers away, there's a guy. He's at the one side. He goes, switch it on, whatever it is, right? Switch it on. Now, the process of then discovering if it worked or not, that takes time. This guy trots back on his horse, clopping away. Hey, did the lights turn on? Yes, they did, Mr. Tesla. Oh, good. Well, that works.
Did he even have a telephone? How was he communicating 40 kilometers?
Oh, probably just, he's probably just had a Tesla coil. Hello? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
But that's how advanced his, that's crazy, isn't it? Have we spoken about Airbus demonstrating how solar power could be beamed from space? I think we talked about this.
Yeah, we did talk about that. Yes.
So that was...
Because we already kind of do that, but this is on a much different sort of scale.
No. Well, no, Tesla was ahead of the game, ahead of the curve 120 years ago, because this is in November last year. Airbus demonstrated how it could work in an experiment, but they only wirelessly transmitted over 30 meters, not 40 kilometers.
Kilometers, and we're talking 130 years ago.
And this is Airbus. Think about the funding. Tesla's like objectively one dude, right?
Yeah.
And maybe he had a team, but it was a small team.
And he had backing in the beginning, and when he was doing more popular stuff.
So Airbus have unlimited resources, right? Their engineers are confident that they can increase its range to reach all the way to space within the next decade.
Okay, so we're going to work on it. Can't do 40 kilometers, but we will be able to do space within the decade. That's pretty good. Do 40 kilometers. Someone needs to match Tesla now. You know what I mean? Today in 2023.
Do you know, apparently Elon's a bit worried about his safety.
Is he?
Yeah, he's increased his security and has had a few cryptic comments that he's made in the media. Apparently he's a bit worried about things, but I don't know I don't know what he's worried about. But
fair enough.
I mean, Elon, in a way, I'm not putting him on the same level as Tesla, but he's the Tesla of our day.
Yeah. I tend to agree with that.
I wouldn't say that he's had,
but he's got billions of dollars.
Yeah, he's a bit richer, right? Because Tesla had to go out and beg for money, whereas Elon can sort of
beg for money,
do whatever he wants.
Yes. No, we need him to fund. We need him to fund the next Tesla. We need him to give the money to someone whose brains wired the same as old Nikolai. So I was on this bit of a journey on this thing, and I watched a video recently, and I don't know if it holds up, about the Great Pyramid of Giza being a power plant of some description, resonating frequencies or some shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So given that I was on this path about wireless technology, I thought it'd be good to ask it this to just plant that in the mix.
Okay.
And be like, is this a good time to bring up this?
Yeah.
Because you're thinking about it. It's not just out of left field. We're going to talk about this now. So I asked, I'm asking it to postulate here, could the Great Pyramid at Giza be a big power plant or communication system?
Oh, awesome. Right? Good question.
What do you know? Like, what do I know? So we're going with it. The idea that the Great Pyramid of Giza was used as a power plant or communication system is a theory that has been proposed by some alternative researchers, aka liars. that's what they're saying there, and authors, but is not supported by mainstream Egyptologists, big surprise, and scientists. That is not a surprise either. The Great Pyramid was built around 2500 BC as a tomb for the Egyptian pharaoh Khufu.
That's a lie.
And is considered one of the greatest architectural and engineering feats of ancient times. And I'm fascinated and happy that you brought something up there. What's up? What's a lie?
The Great Pyramid being tomb for a pharaoh, being a tomb.
There was never a mummy found in there.
And there's no reason to even think. They call it Khufu's pyramid because he was one of the big dogs back in the day, but there's no reason to think that it was anything to do with him. I think they found one small inscription of Khufu somewhere on the pyramid, and I think that's all they're basing it on because they've got nothing else. They've got nothing else, and they have something that looks like a sarcophagus. There are big granite sarcophagus in there, you can lie down in it, but there was no body found in it, and it was completely sealed off until 1920 or something.
Amazing. So it was built in such a way that it almost collapses on itself when you're done building it, so that it seals the chamber off.
Or maybe maybe they were using it for a while and then they did seal it off later. I don't know.
Who knows?
The
point is that there haven't been any mummies found in pyramids.
And there's no hieroglyphics in the Giza pyramids, those three. Okay. Absolutely no hieroglyphics. Whereas the other tombs that have had
Valley
pharaohs
of the Kings and stuff, sure.
They've got all the passage through death and all these other stories and all this other stuff.
All this stuff they're bringing. Yeah. Got to have it all there in pictorial form. But this is a different period of time that we're talking about here. The Valley of the Kings is sort of New Kingdom stuff. I learned this later.
Yes.
So, this basically shit cans the idea of the Giza pyramid being a power plant, which I'm happy with, right? They've shit canned that.
Yeah.
It is important to remember that the ancient Egyptians did not have the technology to generate electricity or wireless communication, and so the theories are not based on any scientific evidence. All right, that's what it's summed it up with, right?
But what's bizarre about the pyramids, very quickly, is the scale of them. If it was, for example, just a tomb, the big question is why. And the power plant's a good one because it answers the question of scale. There is no reason to make something as amazing and as incredible as that just for decoration.
Or a tomb. And it is a solid thing. It's not hollow inside. It's very solid apart from all the little chambers and stuff in it. So
it has truly stood the test of time because we don't even know. You can't date it. They don't actually know when they're built.
Another great point you bring up, right?
Because the Egyptians kept records on everything. They were great at keeping records. And what's fascinating is that not anywhere in all the hieroglyphs we've seen have they ever discussed anything about building the pyramids.
I think there are some depictions of hoists and things.
But that's not specific to the pyramid. They might have some depictions of men pulling blocks,
raising stone. Yeah,
small blocks, small blocks, like maybe not the blocks that were used in the Giza pyramid, not 100-ton blocks.
Well, the Giza pyramid ones are not that heavy. So
they have some 100-ton blocks.
Yeah, absolutely. Inside
in the King's
it does.
Chamber. Yeah.
Inside they've got big fucking granite slabs and shit. But on the outside it's limestone. It's still not fun. The blocks are fucked, right? But a bit easier than moving granite.
Have you done the math for how many? They say that the
millions of
there's 2.8. I think million blocks averaging, I can't remember what the average was, but let's just say 5 ton, which I think is understating it.
What, of the limestone?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can get, I'm sure we can get stats on this, but there's not easy. They're all ginormous blocks. They're not like, you can't just get 10 guys to move them.
Yeah. What are you trying to get the maths on how long it would take to move 2 million blocks?
Yeah, 2.8 million blocks.
You got
They
to take
say
into
it took
account how
20
many people
years.
there are.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying that I think they need to put one in place every hour or something like that for 20 years. When you do the math, it's absolutely absurd. And that's working 24 hours a day all through the year.
It's wild.
The scale is nutty.
I will answer some of this I will get to some of that, right? But first, it's time for some more lies from the old Chat GPT.
Oh my God, GPT.
All right, because I was fascinated. I was like, hang on a minute. Has there ever been a mummy discovered in a pyramid in Egypt? Right? In ancient Egypt, right? Has there ever been a mummy discovered in a pyramid?
I don't know about all the pyramids. Yeah, but
look,
good question.
It has a crack at answering it. Yes, many mummies have been discovered in pyramids in Egypt. The pyramids were built as tombs for the pharaohs and their consorts during the Old and Middle Kingdom periods of ancient Egypt. Here comes the lies. The most famous mummy found in a pyramid is that of Pharaoh Tutankhamun, also known as King Tut, who was buried in the Valley of the Kings, but his tomb was discovered in the 20th century by Howard Carter. Okay.
Why is it conflating pyramids and tombs in the Valley of the Kings?
It really has just not just fucking ignored what I've said. Just associated tomb and pyramid as the same thing. Yes, exactly right. Other mummies discovered in pyramids include those of Pharaoh Djoser, Khufu, and Khafre. Now, that's a lie. Other mummies discovered in pyramids include those of Djoser, Khufu, and Khafre. No, they weren't.
Okay, I wonder where it got that from.
I don't know. I think what they're saying there is that they were buried there, and then people have made off with their corpses between then and now, which is an assumption. So there's this it is worth noting that mummies were not only buried in pyramids, but were also buried in other tombs such as mastabas, which is kind of like a pyramid, but it's not as pointy, rock-cut tombs, and in the Valley of the Kings, right? So I wrote, are there any pyramids in the Valley of the Kings? Right? No, there are no pyramids in the Valley of the Kings, right? Yeah. And I knew that already, but I'm like, well, then why the fuck are you telling me that King Tut's fucking in a pyramid? Anyway, I then got to this. This is the big point, right?
Yeah.
Why did pyramid building get worse over time in ancient Egypt? This is a question I've had. Yeah. This is a question I need answered. Because if you look at the list, it looks, and have you ever done this?
Was this a size scale kind of comparison over time?
So just type into your Google pyramids of ancient Egypt, right? And you should see a Wikipedia link for type the word list in as well. List.
Sorry, type in what, sorry?
List ancient pyramids. So I should be able to link you.
I need that because Wikipedia, Egyptian pyramids.
Yeah, no, there's another one which is just
list of pyramids. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, it's got coloured size.
No, it's Wikipedia though. Sorry,
it's on Wikipedia.
Oh, okay.
Comparison of approximate profiles of a few notable pyramids, pyramidal or near pyramidal buildings.
List of Egyptian pyramids. I've got it.
Okay.
I'll drop it in. I'll drop it next to your Tom Selleck portrait over there.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. So what you want to do, right, is sort by dynasty, right?
Yeah.
So that QE is at the top.
Yep.
So you got QE, the pyramid of QE. Yeah, QE at Dara, at the site of Dara. Now, all we're going to do is we're going to scroll down. Now, we are going from most recent to oldest. Okay, so we're going to scroll down together now, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pyramid of Amos is a bit sad, isn't it?
Amos, yeah, it's just a fucking little hill now. Yes. In Abydos, right? So they do crumble, right? Especially if you don't make them out of good shit. Right? Out of the good shit, right? And the good techniques. So if we scroll down, this looks like the correct way, doesn't it? This looks like a normal civilization coming together.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If you scroll down,
most of them improvement Yeah.
We have pictures of the most recent ones because they're no longer there at all. There's nothing to see.
They're
Scroll
just
down to the
rubble
very
piles.
bottom.
Yeah.
You've got Holy Shit Town, Holy Moly, the Khafre Pyramid, being the fifth oldest.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. So that's why I asked the chat GPT. I said, how does that make any sense, right? And it told me. I was interested. The quality of pyramid building in ancient Egypt declined over time for several reasons. One of the main factors was a change in the political and economical conditions of the country. Okay, during the Old Kingdom period, this is the heyday, the pharaohs of Egypt had a strong central government and a stable economy, which allowed them to commission and build large pyramids as tomb for themselves. Whatever. These pyramids were built to a very high standard in using advanced engineering techniques and high quality materials. However, during the Middle Kingdom period, okay, this is after that, this is 2040 BC, and the second intermediate period, the central government became weaker and the country was plagued by invasions, internal conflict, and economic instability. As a result, the pharaohs had less resources, couldn't build big ones, right? Also, the pyramid building was more of a symbol of power and prestige for the pharaohs rather than a religious or funerary rite. That's interesting. As the pharaohs lost power and prestige, the pyramid building tradition got worse over time. Okay, had a crack. Now it says, it finishes it by saying in the New Kingdom period, the pharaohs chose to be buried in the underground tombs in the Valley of the Kings rather than the pyramids. And these tombs were cut directly into the rock. So they got so shit at it that they just started carving
Gave
into
up.
the deck.
Yeah. They realised that they just can't reproduce this magnificence.
Yeah. Or, this is the big or, and it's a bit of a hot take, or they had inspiration. They were like, oh, wow, that's amazing. Let's build that. And they couldn't.
I love that they built the pyramids. Well, we're told they built the pyramids. In that time, they did not have the wheel. They didn't have the wheel. The wheel had not been invented. There is no evidence of the wheel. And they didn't have there's no evidence of them using any pulleys or anything like that.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's just good hard yakka, if you know what I'm saying.
So the wheel was invented in the fourth millennium BC. So 4,000 years ago.
So basically Valley of the Kings era-ish. Not really.
Not really, because don't they say 4,500 years ago? Isn't that?
Yeah, sorry. The New Kingdom ended into 1070 BC. So the entire history of ancient Egypt, no wheels.
No wheels.
No wheels.
Yet they can. Have you? Just think about how much maths has to go into building.
They couldn't figure out wheels.
So internally, those shafts are all built. They didn't build the pyramid and then carve out the shafts. They built the shafts as they were building the pyramid. So all the blocks are cut so that when you put them in.
Yep, hard yakka. Like I said, bro.
That's
some fucking hard
yakka. They needed some bloody VBs for sure.
Yeah, definitely a hard-earned thirst. Whether you're cutting a big shaft at a pyramid, you could use a VB at the end of those kind of days. Alongside the guy who steams suits, the suit presser, he needs a beer too.
These guys deserve a beer.
I think they did have beer. They figured out beer before the wheel. They figured out pyramids before the wheel.
Well before, didn't they? They
Yeah,
probably figured out the wheel.
The beer sorted.
They probably figured out the wheel after a couple of beers.
Be much easier to take all these beers if we had some sort of cart system.
So did Chat GPT get to the bottom of anything else?
Yeah, I asked it how long Mount Rushmore will exist for because I was interested in that going back in time. So if we were to say Mount Rushmore is now a crumbly mess, what year would have to have been built? And the answer is 6,000 BC. That's what I was told anyway. But ChatGPT went and gave me some other figures. But they are maintaining Mount Rushmore, which is not allowed in the rules for my thing. You know what I mean? I want untouched.
Mm-hmm.
So it is carved out of granite, so it's pretty strong. Like it's among the more durable and long-lasting stuff. It does get weathering from rain, just like it would. But the park, the national park, which it belongs, which it's a part of, seal any erosion with some sealing stuff. Okay. So they're taking care of it, and they say that it'll last fucking ages. Do you know the 4 presidents on the Mount Rushmore?
No,
Do you know
I couldn't
them?
tell you. No.
Don't know? Want to have a stab?
I'll just embarrass myself. No.
All right. It's the G-Dub. It's your George Wash.
Yeah.
It's your Thomas Jeff. Your
Oh,
Toji.
yeah.
Your Teddy Roosevelt. And Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln.
Roosevelt.
Yeah, Theodore Roosevelt.
Okay.
Theodore, not the other one. Yeah. Teddy.
I was getting weirded out. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so 2 sculptors, and the sculptor's name is Gutzon Borglum. Now, he's an interesting cat.
Is he? That's just one of the sculptors, is it?
American sculptor.
Yeah, but you said there were 2.
Yeah, his son.
Oh.
He worked on a project called Stone Mountain Confederate Memorial Carving. So he worked on a project called Stone Mountain, right?
Okay.
Stone Mountain's interesting because it is the largest bas-relief sculpture in the world. And
where is it?
Good question. Where is it? It's in Georgia.
I want to lay eyes on this thing.
It's Georgia.
Stone.
Yeah.
If I type in Stone
Yeah,
Mountain.
Stone Mountain. Yeah. Get the Wikipedia up. Let's have a quick squiz, right? So the first picture you see is the mountain viewed from a distance, where on the water, where it's sort of a mirrory shot of the mountain.
Yeah.
Can't really tell where this bas relief sculpture is, though, can you? And neither can I.
No, not from that first photo. No,
Can't see it.
That's a beautiful shot, though.
Beautiful shot. The largest bas relief sculpture in the world is this Stone Mountain thing, right? So, okay, so I'm interested. Like, where
is this?
What you're looking at there is exposed granite, okay? Exposed granite. If you scroll down to Confederate Memorial Carving, the largest bas-relief sculpture in the world, the Confederate Memorial Carving depicts 3 Confederate leaders of the Civil War. President Jefferson Davis, who was a Confederate States president, and Generals Robert E. Lee and Thomas Stonewall Jackson. Okay, can you see that close up of the memorial now?
Yeah.
Now,
on horses.
I can't tell how big that is.
No.
From this, but it is the largest bas-relief sculpture in the world, and it counts.
The sculpture was cut 13 meters deep into the mountain. Wait, what? Measures 27 meters in height and 58 meters in width, and is 120 meters above the ground. What does it mean it was cut 13 meters deep into the mountain?
That might mean the relief was 13 meters deep. But for example, in the cutting of, Mount Rushmore, they went very, very shallow. The relief is shallow. I think it's 13 feet. And that was to protect the people who were building it from falling and killing themselves, right?
Yeah.
It was that's why it was done like that.
Oh man. William Simmons founded the Reborn Clan atop Stone Mountain in 1915. The Ku Klux Klan.
What? Say that again?
William Simmons founded the Reborn Clan atop Stone Mountain in 1915.
Right, so it's a bit of it's a Confederate hotspot.
Yeah.
Right. So I still, apart from the news article, like the article that you can see like where they've tried to put it in there, I can't see the relief on the mountain itself. Am I missing something?
There must be a better shot of it. Yeah, I can't see that either.
Is it still there?
Yeah, surely. I'm more fascinated about this, the clan stuff. Man, how funny is it? These guys call themselves, it says James Venable attended the 1915 revival of the KKK atop of Stone Mountain and later became an imperial wizard of the National Knights of the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah, wizard. It's a cool term, isn't it?
Yeah, but how
You have
old
to be
are
a
they?
wizard.
And I think that the head wizard is the grand wizard.
Oh, you'd be like 40 or something, 50, 42.
No, but I mean like calling themselves wizards. The clan also held cross burnings at the summit of the mountain on different occasions from 1915 onwards. So what's with the cross burnings? Why were they burning crosses?
I don't know, because they were really Christian, weren't they? But they're into burning crosses. I don't know why they're into that.
The police negotiated a truce with the local clan Grand
Dragon, yeah.
Yeah, how'd you know that? Have you heard of the
Because I've
Grand
watched
Dragon?
a lot of Louis Theroux stuff on clan stuff.
I didn't realise that there was a Grand Dragon. I'd like to see what the hierarchy is. So you have Grand Wizard at the top, you have Imperial Wizards, and you have some Grand Dragons.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Grand Dragon's probably the top dog.
Oh, is it?
I'd say so.
That sounds way better than the Grand Wizard.
I found it, by the way. Let's have a quick look at this because it is fascinating.
Yeah, send it to me.
Here is a full picture showing a bit of scope to this Confederate carving, the biggest in the world. And it's actually quite impressive. Sort of underneath it, I reckon.
Oh, okay. It's hard to get a sense for how big it is.
All right, let me help you with that. I've got a plan for that.
I need someone
This one gives you
in it.
This one gives you some perspective. Yeah, that one or does give you some perspective. But where did that go? Yeah, got it. Yeah, have a look at this. This is someone obviously right near that fountain or something at the front.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you can see a bit more detail there.
And you can see the depth. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Okay, I believe that could be 13 meters. Geez, that is a 3D. That is.
Like he's almost out of the wall, isn't he?
Yeah, he's almost completely out. Like the end of the top of his hat to the base of the wall, if he wasn't there, I could see that being 13 meters.
They're counting that entire scene, which you see around it, as carved area, I'm guessing. So it's like 4 acres or something.
Oh, okay. Well, an acre is 40 meters by 100 meters.
13 meters measures 27 meters in height and 58 meters in width. Okay, that's 50 meters wide. Holy shit. There you go. Didn't know about that one, did we? Didn't know about that one, did we? Also, Mount Rushmore was originally meant to be 3 dudes and then they added a 4th.
Which was the 4th?
Good question. I should probably know the answer to that, given that I brought it up. I think it's Thomas Jefferson, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Let me find out. Concept. Yes, a model. There's a picture here. A model at the site depicting Mount Rushmore's intended final design after Jefferson was relocated. Okay, he was relocated.
Oh,
so there's a picture of it construction underway with Jefferson at the left of Washington before unstable rock necessitated a change in the design.
Really? Can you see? How do you change? Like, there's no eraser.
No, they had to just fucking dick that bit off completely and shove his head in the middle. It doesn't look anything near what they originally intended. The funding did run out of this thing.
Do you have photos of that?
Yeah. It's on the Mount Rushmore Wikipedia page. If you scroll to concept design and funding, there's 5 pictures which shed a lot of light on this. You can see before, like what the mountain looked like before they touched it, You can see their first touchings. With that construction underway with Jefferson to the left, you can see that they started doing the top of his head and they got to his nose and they stopped.
Yeah. All right.
And you can see
Then
the
they just had to
intended
bail. They
initial
just had to
design.
cut it away completely.
Yep. And that's what you can see on the final, on the far right. You can see they've just sheared off that entire area.
Yeah.
There you go. Cool, hey?
Yeah, okay.
So what they're probably doing is exposing that granite, yeah, and then they're carving. So, wild job.
They really just had to pop him in.
And the scale's massive. Look at the picture of them climbing up his nose.
Yeah.
Look at the size of that.
Oh, I think I like the one that you showed me before, though.
No, but because
the clan
it's bigger.
one.
It's bigger. Yeah, no, it's bigger. And it's probably like a little more like prettier,
a bit more
almost.
impressive. Yeah, I think it's way more pretty.
It's prettier. Like in the like Abraham Lincoln just looks like a blockhead. Like a head's just on a block. There's no body to any of them.
Yeah,
except for
I think that he almost did a bit. They did a bit of a pyramid on us, right? He started with Stone Mountain, which was like the Giza pyramid.
I don't know if he started with Stone Mountain, but yeah, go on.
Well, he did do it first.
He
moved on from Stone Mountain. It says Borglum's next major project was Mount Rushmore.
Wow, after that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, sorry, I'm on Wikipedia now looking at clan titles.
Yeah, go on. Let's have them.
I can't fully get my head around it. So here's just a couple of extracts. So okay, so you've got an empire constituting the whole area of the clan's activities. This was led by the imperial wizard and his staff of 10 genii. I guess they're like that's Genii, as well as a grand exchequer, which is the treasurer, and grand scribe, whose duty was to keep lists of the blah, blah, realms. Okay, realms. While the role of realms was laid out in the first prescript, they were only identified as states in the second prescript. Realms were ruled by a grand dragon who was assisted by 8 squirrels.
Squirrels?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dominions. Blah, blah, blah. The dominion was held by a grand titan who was assisted by 6 furies.
Fucking hell. All right.
Provinces. Here we go. It was supervised by a grand giant who was assisted by 4 goblins.
Sorry, is a titan better than a giant, or is it the other way around?
Yeah, so you're working your way down. The empire is all the clan's activities.
Yep.
That is led by the imperial wizard. So the empire
bigger than dragons. Sorry, titans bigger than giants.
Yeah, titans are bigger than giants. Apparently,
yeah, got it. Yeah, got it.
So cool. You've got
and they've got some gobbies.
Gobbies, yeah, they got a couple of gobbies.
Cool.
Four gobbies with them.
Cool.
Okay, no, but wait till you hear this.
Yep.
The dens were the basic level of organisation for the Reconstruction clan. Don't know what that is. In the original prescript, its chief officer was the Grand Cyclops, who was appointed 2 Nighthawks, a Grand Turk, a Grand Sentinel, Grand Magi, and a Grand Ensign. Magi, yeah.
And an ensign, okay.
Ensign, is that what it is? Why do you know so much about this? Or you just can read English?
Ensign is like a naval term, isn't it? That's a role in the Navy. I don't know, maybe I'm making that up too. Let's go. Making shit up in this bitch.
No, it sounds good. The Grand Cyclops, Grand Exchequer, Grand Magi, and Grand Monk were elected by the body politic of the dens, identified as ghouls.
Ghouls?
Yep.
That just sounds so lovely, doesn't it?
It reminds me of Dungeons and Dragons. It reminds me of really adult Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, sure. You think they're LARPing, they're role-playing.
Yeah, LARPing, that's it.
Like the guys who are in the park going, lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt. And the other guy's like, no, I'm using protection aura. And then they can't because he's using a protection aura spell. The casting of the lightning bolt is ineffective at this time. However, if the shield were to break or his mana runs out, he would be susceptible to lightning strikes. Okay? Okay? That's how it works.
Okay, you've got some
Not real lightning strikes, I might add. They're just it's just them in the park pointing at each other, going lightning bolt, lightning bolt. All right, cool.
I've just got some more terminology I like. So you got this Supreme Grand Wizard President, a Caliph is your Vice President, a Clockard, all these starting with KL. A Clockard is a lecturer, a Clud is a chaplain,
Blood.
Klingrap is your secretary,
Oh, I thought that was something else. Okay.
Clayby is your treasurer,
Oh yeah.
Clad is your conductor,
Conductor.
in charge of initiating new members. Or
Ooh,
you.
rough.
It goes on. Clarigo is your sergeant at arms. Clexter, outer guard. Yeah. This is just some wild stuff going on, isn't there?
I think we should probably just start a religion. That would be, we can come up with our own titles then.
Yeah, we could. Or we could just
copy those ones.
Yeah.
You want Grand Dragons and Goblins and
yeah, they got some good ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Take the good.
Other than the principles and their morals and what they stand for and everything.
Get rid of all that.
Looks pretty fun.
Get rid of all that. Yeah.
Get rid of all that and just keep some of the terminology.
The ranks. So, Tom Cruise, Scientology, and the head of Scientology, David Miscavige. You're familiar with him.
Yeah.
He's the leader. And Tom Cruise is one of his favourite people in the whole world, and vice versa. Okay? Now,
they're just circle jerking with each other.
I watched a video on YouTube the other day which seemed to suggest that his wife, Shelley Miscavige, has been cited as alive in the last couple of years, right? Which, if you're following the Scientology manga, she hasn't been publicly seen for many, many, many years.
Okay.
Whether or not that's because David's just hiding her away, or whether or not he killed her, right? But it's interesting because what they point out is, hey, like, it's the easiest thing to prove ever. Like, just where is she?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like just. But I think he would never do that because it's like it'd be like him saying, "I don't need to justify myself to you," kind of thing. You know, I don't need to. You know.
Doesn't someone just conduct a welfare check on her or something like that?
Yeah, I think they've done stuff to the effect of like missing persons reports, and there would be something akin to a welfare check involved in that. I don't know how they go when you've signed a contract for 10,000 years of servitude in the Sea Org. I don't know if that document even holds up in court. What do you reckon?
I'd like to see it scrutinised.
Yeah, the 10,000. Could I enter servitude?
Is that what it's called, servitude?
No, could I? I'm just asking you if I could. I'm not talking about what they're doing. I'm talking about me.
I think there's a rule on. I don't know.
So if I wrote a letter and said, "Hey, I'm signing my, will," but it's not my will. I'm signing
it's just
my
a
will,
long-term
my
contract.
will
It's a for your life, or
yes,
yeah. The term is just really long.
Services. Is that GG?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Legally binding document. Something to ponder. Something to ponder.
I'd like to get my hands on one of those contracts. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. You can probably get a screen cap if you watched like enough Louis Theroux docos.
Yeah.
Could you get it? Could you get one on the internet? Is that what you're thinking now?
Sea Org members make a lifetime commitment to Scientology by signing a 1 billion-year contract.
A billion? Sorry. Oh, I messed up the years. I said 10,000 years, didn't I? Idiot.
Jeez, you got to read it before you sign it.
They do. Yeah.
But you're given, in exchange, you're getting free room and board as well as a small weekly allowance. Come on. You're
Come
getting
on,
a bit.
It's not so bad. It's only
For
a billion years.
If you add up a billion years of a small weekly allowance.
That's a lot of money.
It's more than-
Hello. Are we rich in Scientology, Evan? Is that
a
what's
huge
happening
mistake?
here? Hooey. I've just entered into a regular contract for my life and I'll earn whatever I earn, and then after that, nothing. But they've got a billion years of... Hang on a sec. They've got a billion years.
Hey, let's.
Do you want to work for a billion years?
Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. So I'm on the Scientology website, FAQ. Is it true that people in the Sea Org sign a billion-year contract?
Good question.
So we can get it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, let's have it.
The first Sea Organisation members formulated a 1 billion-year pledge to symbolise their eternal commitment.
Oh, eternal. That's even longer than a billion years. Wait
to
a
the
sec.
religion. Yeah, if it's going to be eternal, it should just
That's
be
longer than a billion.
to the
Holy
religion,
shit.
and it is still signed by all members today. It is a
Bloody
symbolic document which, similar to vows of dedication in other faiths and orders, serves to signify an individual's eternal commitment to the goals, purposes, and principles of the
So
Scientology religion.
Sea Org, if you're in the Sea Org and you're listening to the pod, here's what I want to tell you just before we have to bounce. It's a symbolic commitment that you made, probably under duress. And I want you to find that 2% of courage that you've been lacking. That 2%. I want you to find that. And I want you to formulate a way of getting out. Just call somebody. Call somebody. Call somebody. Nate, anything to add?
No, that's it, mate.
Thanks, man. Good stuff.
Hectic.
Yeah. Look, and you ended on a high note.
Just be
Email us.
thankful you haven't signed a billion-year contract.
Not yet.
I
But it's symbolic.
didn't read the fine print in the Apple terms and conditions.
It's probably in there. All right. We'll see you next week.